This is a wonderful Mahana rock cut carving of this cave. Hello friends, how are you? Welcome. Good afternoon. Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya. I am Dr.Srinivas, with me my very learned friend Narendra Nath. Today we will know something about this very auspicious, very world renowned, very acknowledged so-called World Heritage Center, yet to be recognized as UNESCO Heritage Center, the Buddhanna Konda. Buddhanna Konda is the name given by the local people, but there are so many legends and stories regarding this wonderful name Buddhanna Konda. Buddhanna in these two Telugu states means Lord Ganesha. Buddhanna means the pot-belly god. So Ganesha is called Buddhanna and this hill is called Buddhanna Konda. Mind you friends, there is no relation between Buddhanna and this Buddhanna Konda. This is the irony. And to go into the details, this was the place where Satavahanas, Vishnu Kundalinas, Chalukyas and Chandraguptas ruled. And one of the Satavahana kings is Lambodara Satavahana, who has a big pot belly. There are legends, stories that this Buddhanna Konda came from the king, Satavahana king Lambodara Satavahana, who has a pot belly. Otherwise, Buddhanna means elderly respected Buddha, Buddhanna, has transformed into Buddhanna. And to add this locality of Anakapalli has so many people's surname as Buddha, Buddhavarapu, Buddhanna. So probably Buddhanna came from Buddhanna. But third most important legend which I appreciate to share with you is there is a Paritta Sutta called Bojjanga Sutta in the Samyukta Nikaya, Mahavagga, in the Sutta Pitaka, in Tripitakas. In Buddhist literature, there is a sutta, there is a sermon by Buddha called Bojjanga Sutta, which talks about 7 major facts for enlightenment. It's called Bojjanga Paritaya, Bojjanga Sutta. And that probably gave that Buddhanna Konda to this auspicious place. Probably Buddhist monks and nuns in those days practiced that particular sermon, that particular sutta in this area, and this area was given Buddhanna Konda. So coming to the geographical location of this Buddhanna Konda. Buddhanna Konda now from hereafter I call it as Buddhanna Konda. Buddhanna Konda is located about 45 kilometers from Visakhapatnam railway station and about 2 kilometers from the nearest Anakapalli railway station. Anakapalli railway station is visible from here. There are lush meadows and there is a river flowing right in front of this hilltop. This hillock is a tributary of Godavari called Sharada River. There was a time where there's a very prosperous harvesting area in this locality, and the river used to be very richly flown and was nourishing these agricultural lands. Now it is slowly vanished. This tributary of Sharada is no more visible in this part, but it is there on the other side of the railway station, the Sharada River, the tributary of the Godavari. And this area now popularly known as Sankaram. Sankaram, again, it's not about Lord Shiva. Interestingly, it's about Sangharama. Sangharama is the arama where the Sangha used to relax or to rest or to live. Arama is the Buddhist word given to the monks' residences. So this is a Sangharama. In due course of time, the name has been transformed into Sankaram. There's a village just half kilometer from here is a Sankaram village, and this Arama, it belonged to this village, Sankaram village. In fact, that village is Sangharama, but not Sankaram. So River Sharada, Bojjanga Sutta, Buddhanna Konda, and Shankaram. And coming to the wonderful monuments, there are two different setups. Now, unfortunately, because of this rainy season, there's a lush greenery and trees grown up. Otherwise, it would have a wonderful scene from here. There's one small hillock on the right side, the real Bojjanga Konda or Buddhanna Konda. On the left side is another small hill, which we call Lingala Konda. Lingam means the Shivalinga they named, but unfortunately it's not Shivalingas, they are the stupas. There are n number of stupas which we can witness once we go there. Because of the stupas, the appearance they give the linga, so they call Lingala Konda. So to understand, my dear friends, this is a encroachment of the Shaivites. Shiva, Shankaram, Lingala Konda, and Bojjanga Konda. You can see all the Shankar and the Lord Shiva and his Shivalingas and the Bojjanga relating it to the Ganapati. So nothing to do with mythology, nothing to do with Hindu philosophy or Hindu ideological stories, but it is entirely a historical monument where Buddhist monks lived who practiced the Bojjanga Sutta and all parts of Buddhist literature, and it is the area where Buddhist monks and nuns lived here for about 1,000 years. And these things came out into the light from 1907 to 1906, from 1906 to 1907 by the then wonderful British excavator who contributed to this wonderful monument is Mr. Alexander Ray. Alexander Ray is the person who excavated these wonderful monuments and gave them a light to be acknowledged by the world. And historically, it is so important because this coastal Andhra is a very rich cultural hub for Buddhism. Right from Kalinga, we call Trikalinga. Trikalinga is from the Odisha, the other end of the Bengal, from to the Rajahmundry. Rajahmundry to Bengal includes this coastal Andhra, Odisha, and some part of the Bengal. It's called Trikalinga. This Trikalinga part is very rich in Buddhism because it was ruled by the then king Ashoka. Later on, it was ruled by the 4th century Chandraguptas, then Shatavahanas, Chalukyas, and many South Indian kings ruled this area. So interestingly, after the king Ashoka, n number of Buddhist monuments came to light in this area. Throughout the Telangana to Andhra to coastal Andhra towards the Kalinga, the Odisha area, you find huge number of Buddhist monuments excavated and still coming up, right from Dhauli, where the Kalinga war took place by the river bank of Daya Nadi, and from there the Lagori, what is this, Udayagiri, Khandagiri, and all those areas into deep Orissa. There are so many monuments, and here throughout the Visakhapatnam, Vijayanagaram, Srikakulam belt, it was said that every 6 kilometers we have these Buddhist monuments. To be very honest, Madhavadara, a popular place in Visakhapatnam, is a Buddhist monument. Rishikonda is a Buddhist monument. Simhachalam is a Buddhist monument, and of course you might be heard of Bavikonda, Totlakonda, Pauralukonda, then the Dantapuri, then Ramatirtham. All these places you find on the coast are Buddhist monuments. And towards the Rajahmundry and Telangana, you have Dhulikatta, then Ghantasala, Aduru, so many places to name, my dear friends. You have around 84,000 of such monuments, because we have historical evidence that there are 84,000 Buddhist monuments built by Ashoka, and whole country was once upon a time a Buddhist country, and there's no wonder to find a Buddhist monument wherever you go, wherever you dig. Let's go onto the top. Okay? Okay? Here, small beauty. Friends, why this Buddhanna Konda is so popular, so famous among the Buddhist monuments? Simple reason is, this is the place where we have tremendous evidences found to authentically say that this place has been practiced by Buddhists from all three sects of major Buddhism. I mean to say, there are three major sects of Buddhism, you know. One is Hinayana, the Mahayana, and the Tantrayana. So to be brief, Hinayana is the early Buddhism, the primitive Buddhism, the ancient Buddhism, where there are no symbols of Buddha, no symbols of chakra, no symbols of people leaf. The only symbols are the stupas and chaityas. If you find stupas and chaityas, you can say it is the Hinayana Buddhist practice. Second, the Mahayana practice. After 200 years of Buddha, people started idealizing Buddha. Then the Buddhist shape, nobody's seen Buddha, but Buddha's shape has been given and shape has been practiced, shape has been transformed from country to country. Now we see Buddhas in every country in their own country's culture. So idealizing Buddha as a god or as a deity or as a what we call the ideal symbol of Dhamma, or to worship, the worship of Buddha started with Mahayana. With Mahayana. So if you see a Buddha's sculpture in any form, in any mudra, in any posture, it symbolizes the Mahayana Buddhist culture. So the third one is Tantrayana or Vajrayana. This is a mystic form with heavenly characters and supernatural powers to Buddha. So you see demons, maras, and heavenly bodies and unnatural powers to Buddha in this particular sect of Buddhism is Tantrayana. So now you can see stupas, chaityas which depict the Hinayana sect of Buddhism, and you see wonderful Buddhist statues. There you can see wonderful carving, rock cut carving, which indicates it's a Mahayana Buddhist practice. And again we see some maras, the demons, the devils, the disturbing factors which used to disturb Buddha while practicing his meditation. Those are depicted in the form of different supernatural powers like maras, we call the devils, which you see them, it indicates it is a practice of Tantrayana Buddhism. So this is the place where we found the evidences of practices of both Hinayana, Mahayana and Tantrayana. That is the specialty of this particular area. This Buddhanna Konda is one such monument which made this country proud, because this is the place where all the three sects of Buddhism has been practiced for more than 1000 years, from 400, 200 AD to 900 AD. How is possible? If you just see, this was the area where river Sharda was flowing some time back. That was the village Anakapalli, and the people who used to practice Buddhism have their names Buddhas as surnames or as a suffix. And this part is the center for both the Odisha and Telangana. And monks used to travel from Orissa to Telangana in those days, and this is the main hub where people used to come and stay for a longer time. For a very longer time, people used to live here. Many people, many monks, many nuns passed away here. So we find lots of stupas and chaityas. So this is a wonderful Mahana rock cut carving of this cave. This is a Padmapani, has been destroyed. Usually there are two Dwarapalakas. In Buddhist texts, whenever you enter into a Chaitya, Chaitya is nothing but a, before going into the Buddhist monuments, let's know what is a stupa and what is a Chaitya. Stupa is a rock cut, a rock carved into a semicircular area. Depending on the size of the rock, they make a small rounded shape, and on which there is a small hollowness. Probably there, the remnants of the people who passed away in this particular area, say the monks, the nuns who passed away here, in their memory, the relics are being kept on the stupas. Stupas simply indicate a monument in the name of some of the Buddhist monks or nuns who passed away and kept their relics there. So wherever you say stupa, is nothing but a Buddhist relic of a monk or a nun. So coming to Chaitya, Chaitya is nothing but a place where the stupa is harbored. A Chaitya is a place where the stupa is there in the center, and to which there is an entrance. There's a wonderful entrance and two Dwarapalakas, two sentries. And if you see the Cambodian, Taiwan culture, Buddhist culture, the sentries have a long part belly. The belly, look at this belly. If you see the Cambodian monasteries, the Dwarapalakas, the sentries at front of the Chaityas, they have parted belly. This belly in Telugu is called Bojja. Bojja. So probably people who came in early days seeing this Bojja, they might have called this Buddhanna Konda. Two sentries on either side of the entrance of the Chaitya, the parted sentries as a security. So the symbolic part is a symbol of prosperity of the Buddhism. So probably because of this auspicious place got its name as Buddhanna Konda, but that's a misnomer. It's a Buddhanna Konda. If you come and see into this, as I mentioned, this is a Chaitya. This is a Chaitya with so many pillars into a single rock cut Chaitya. Chaitya is a place where you have a stupa in the center and surrounded by a place where people used to meditate. Chaityas are stupas are revered, are honored, are worshipped as the symbols of elders and their contribution to the Buddhist. So they used to sit here in their memory and they used to practice meditation. So stupas are the places where meditation has been practiced in front of their seniors. So this is a Chaitya where you have an entrance to Dwarapalakas, the Bojja, people with pot bellies, and this is wonderful stupa. So this is a symbol of typical Hinayana, Theravada text of sect of Buddhism. Unfortunately, if we see people from local villages come here to worship this as a Sivalinga, which is not true, and they write Om here, they put all the turmeric flowers, and this is one important factor where these monuments are being slowly decaying, are being destroyed. So this property belongs to ASI, Archaeological Survey of India. And coming to ASI, in Andhra Pradesh, Buddhanna Konda is the only monument, Buddhist monument, which is under the control of ASI, Archaeological Survey of India. All Buddhist monuments in this Andhra Pradesh come under the State Archaeological Survey of India. So this is an important 4th century early Hinayana, late Hinayana Buddhist practice stupa.
जहाँ तहाँ के मत पूछो कहाँ कहाँ, बुद्ध ही तो बुद्ध है समाए। उसके ज्ञान में विज्ञान है, मान है सम्मान है, शांति का तू मार्ग है बताए, तुझसे ही रोशन।
You just witnessed one of wonderful single rock cut caves, and there are such 4 rock cut caves in this premises, and that is a wonderful stupa with a chaitya, and this under, look at this wonderful stupa, and you have so many stupas on the other side also. This is again entrance where you don't have dwarpalakas. Again this way. Cave with a chaitya which is around the stupa. Here on the first floor you can see no dwarpalakas but the statue of Buddha in the Dhyana Mudra. Similarly, there was a statue of Buddha in some other mudra, probably a Bhumisparsha mudra or Abhaya mudra, but it has been destroyed. And coming into the second wonderful cave, a single rock cut cave of Buddhanna Konda, Buddhanna Konda, you can wonderfully showcase the statues of Buddha in different mudras. It's a Dhyana mudra. This is a Dhyana mudra. This is another Dhyana mudra. Wonderful posture of Buddha in the meditating posture. These are the symbols of Mahayana Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism majorly depicts the Buddha in different mudras. Abhaya mudra, Bhumipashkashpal mudra, Dhyana mudra, Dhammachakra Pravartana mudra, Varada mudra. There are so many mudras where you can find in Buddhas in different forms. So look at this again, they put oil on this to destroy, to damage, and just to hear, to. My dear friends, what are they? What are they? What are they? These are the symbols of Tantric Buddhism. These are the symbols of Tantric Buddhism. The Maras. Mara is a king who is supposed to disturb the Buddhist meditation, and he has 3 or 4 daughters. Their daughters are in different forms: lust, hatred, greed. They disturb Buddha from meditating. So these sort of tantric depictions says that this is the symbol of Tantrayana ya Vajrayana Buddhism. And you find certain demons on the other corners also. Here you can see this is a place, these are the Mara here trying to disturb Buddha. And under Mara here, they dance, they disturb his concentration. That was the Tantric Buddhist philosophy says. And there is another wonderful Dhyana mudra here.
So, describe this
one.
Yes. Oh, please hold.
This is a Buddhist. This is a Buddha statue in the Varada Mudra. And depending upon the availability of the time, they started carving the rock cuttings. They used to cut the rock and carve. This looks more like a Padmapani, but this is not Padmapani. It is simply like a male Bodhisattva. This is not looking like a Mara, but looking like a male Bodhisattva. Because we have female Bodhisattvas called Padmapanis and Taras and other all of these ways. This has been vandalized, demolished by local people, knowingly and unknowingly.
है समाए उसके ज्ञान में विज्ञान है, मान है, सम्मान है, शांति का तू मार्ग है बताए। तुझसे ही रोशन है ये ज़मीं आसमां, तेरे उसूलों पे चलता ये सारा जहां, तेरी नेमते महान, तू ही तो है विश्व की जान। बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, संघं शरणं गच्छामि, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि।
This is the one of the biggest stupas in this Buddhanna Konda. This Buddhanna Konda symbolizes the Theravada Buddhism with this massive stupa. We find such stupas in Vidisha, Sanchi, Saranath, Dhammika Stupa, and of course throughout the world in Anuradhapura, in Cambodia, China, Japan, we find such wonderful stupas. These are the stupas, they are the fillings with mud, sand and stones in the memory of past monks. And people used to sit here. These are the places to sit and meditate. These are the places monks used to sit in Dhyana Mudra and meditate in the presence of their senior monks who served to the mankind and passed away. These are the wonderful seats for meditating, practicing monks. And this is the stupa to support, to witness their meditation and allow them to get enlightened. And if you come here, you find a wonderful meeting hall, prayer hall, seating arrangement, and Buddhist culture is the culture of democracy. Buddhist culture is the culture of matrilineal society. Buddhist culture is the culture of equality. Buddhist culture is the culture of fraternity, liberty, fraternity, and comity. And this wonderful meeting hall indicates the democratic system of Buddhist practices. The chief monk, senior monk sit there, and all the monks sit around him, and they do practice the universal values, and of course they make decisions depending upon the secret ballot system. They practice ballot system, and the Indian ballot system came from Buddhist culture. So this wonderful, massive meeting hall where Buddhist monks used to gather after meditation and spend their auspicious time in learning sermons, learning suttas, and learning discourses from the senior monks. Yes. Each stupa symbolizes somebody's relics contained there. They are the symbols of monks, nuns who lived here, who practiced the way of Dhamma and who sacrificed their life in the dharmic way. And in their memory, their fellow monks construct such stupas. They put their relics here in the middle and they revere them as their elders. And around them, they sit and they practice, they meditate. Such a huge stupa is the Mahastupa, which you find in Anuradhapura, Dhamik Stupa in Saranath, and Sanchi Stupa in Vidisha, Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, we find a number of such stupas, which symbolizes huge number of monks lived here, walked here, preached here, meditated here, and they physically left this world. These stupas, and the fate of these stupas is really worrisome. These are the stupas rock cut by these. This is sandstone rock which will decay in due course of time. So it's the responsibility of the Archaeological Survey of India and other organizations, other heritage bodies to protect these monuments. If you can see there, in those hills, there's a huge quarrying going on. There's a huge grenades blasted every day and day and night. Huge gravel and the stones are being carried away from there. The whole hills were being dug and they're blasted into stones for their selfish benefit. Fine, but the vibrations of the sand and the land from the hills disturbing these monuments. The quarrying is one biggest threat to this world famous UNESCO Heritage Center, the Buddhanna Konda. Second threat is the localites knowingly, unknowingly destroying the statues, the carvings, the rock cut cages, putting the sands, putting the turmeric, oil and lighting lamps here. And this is the responsibility of every citizen of this country to protect the UNESCO Heritage Center from vandalization, molestation and destruction. Here you can see in this room, you find a wonderful place to put the lamp. This is another small monk's room where there's a provision to put his arms and the lamp. Thanks to my wonderful friend who came all the way from Nagpur, and Betul, Narendra, who is kind and patient enough to hold the camera for so long. And signing off from this beautiful monumental Buddhanna Konda onto this wonderful Stupala Konda. Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya.